What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. All right. Woo! Some new developments on Super Stupid. And I did watch a couple videos, breakdowns on Hannibal is Hungry, I think Nate the Lawyer, and a couple news clips of what I've seen so far. Tiffany Henyard got booted out of Thornton Township, and it was epic. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. So of course I'm gonna give a reaction to this. Of course I am. You can call it what you want, but I am going to post up a video about this, and I think it's just imperative now because there are a lot of situations going on where you have these corrupt politicians that are just being caught left and right. The feds arrested one of the council lady in Boston. Boston councilwoman this morning for kickbacks, basically. I mean, just stupid stuff going on. And this is kind of why it's also imperative that we know who we're voting for, who we're putting into these positions of power, and understand these, election processes. Tiffany Henyard got booted by way of a caucus. So in the state of Illinois, they have what's known as a caucus or a primary vote. And this caucus basically is led by the Democratic caucus leader, and that being the state senator here, Napoleon Harris. And basically, he said, all right, we're going to do he could have said we're going to do a primary, but it's a lawful voting process that is very legal, but might not be common. I think that the last time it was done is about 30-something odd years ago. That's not that long ago. I mean, it's the year of our Lord 2024. It's not that long ago. So to say this hasn't been done in 30 years, it's not like you're going back 100 years where, we're talking about an era where we still had, hard living going on across the board. Like it wasn't, it's not that long ago. 30 years ago is not that long ago. And it's a very legal method. And he decided to do a caucus as opposed to a primary. And she got booted. The problem that I have here is some of those trustees that appointed her, Super Stupid, and created this mess, are still being nominated and appointed into their positions that they're in. I did a video on how she was appointed. Basically, they did some weird vote with the trustees, and I remember Trustee Gonzalez, and then they appointed her and swore in same day, and the people of Thornton Township didn't get a chance to vote with that either. So she came in, through some underhanded schemes, and she left out and got booted through, I guess, I don't want to say unpopular method. It's just not common, but it was very legal, and she can decry whatever she wants. But when it comes down to it, she decides to go and pursue this in court. It's going to be a matter of, was it legal or not? What law was broken in this? And hopefully they dotted their I's and crossed their T's, and they did this the right way, because they darn sure didn't do it the right way when they put Super Stupid in that spot. And those trustees in Thornton Township are having to clean up their mess. So, but this was epic, and we're going to watch it because it makes me happy. I haven't seen this whole video, so I want to see this. And you guys saw the credit one of the trustee members, I think, somebody that reported this on their phone.
I don't know. I never participated in a caucus before. I think a lot of people in here never participated in a caucus before.
Yeah.
The last person who was a Democratic committeeman was Frank Zuccarelli.
And from my understanding, it was over 30 years ago.
He was the Democratic committeeman and the supervisor.
They didn't even sit down. They don't even have a chair. So this got to be done. All right. I apologize. Just for the sake of brevity.
All in favor of the rules being adopted, say aye. The rules are adopted.
So they just voted on the rules.
Quiet, please.
They just gave a motion on the rules. Now they're doing the appointment.
We shall appoint the election judges.
They don't have one.
We shall appoint the election judges. The next outburst will be removed from the caucus. The election
Yeah, you heard it. Oh.
Kobe Chapman, Jason House, and Chief Judge Kiana Gillum.
Kiana.
For this evening is none other than Bert Olson. And our secretary.
How you start a meeting without like people?
Please proceed.
Shows up angry.
Y'all didn't let the people start coming in at 6:30. Y'all gotta let the people in.
Same thing you did. Same thing she did. You out of order. Because that's her favorite thing, to tell somebody they out of order. Why the hell this come back on you? Oh, wow. Funny how, the hypocrisy is strong up in here. Let me tell you something. How many times has this heifer left people outside in the heat with nowhere to sit, no bottled water, no nothing, and then had the audacity to have people removed against their First Amendment rights for freely expressing themselves, and simply because she didn't like it, she had people removed from town hall meetings because she didn't like what they were saying. Oh my God, the irony in her hypocrisy is staggering. Jesus! Oh God, are you kidding me? I want to be insulted by this, but I'm just so happy that her ass is gone. I don't even know what to take with that. The hypocrisy of it all. It wasn't right when she did it. Get out of here. It's very legal. The caucus vote is very legal. This caucus meeting is very legal. He had the option to do a caucus or a primary. He wanted to do a caucus. It's very legal. And because she's not knowledgeable or learned on anything, she missed out. And this is what happens when no one was going to reelect her anyway. The votes that she probably would get would not be anywhere near, even 40% of Thornton Township. It wouldn't be enough to put her back in that spot anyway. So either way, she's going to be voted out. What? You're upset because you're going to be voted out regardless, little girl. Regardless, super stupid, you're going to go. They're going to vote you out. Whether it be through the caucus or through primary, you got to go. They're voting you out either way. The votes to have you removed and to have you unseated would be overwhelming. You would have to cheat like hell to win that re-election in Thornton Township. You would have to cheat like hell. And I pity the people who, like, I don't want to say pity. Let me not say that, because I don't. It's sad that you have people that are actually still trying to support her, and they get nothing out of it other than a turkey. for Thanksgiving or something? What are you all really getting out of her leadership here? How does it improve the quality of your life on a daily basis? It doesn't seem like she gives you, gives you all anything. And if whatever's going on, whatever she does, bingo is not like a benefit that's worthy of someone being reelected. It's just not. It's not. If you're that lonely, go get a pet. Go get an emotional support animal or something. Go volunteer, at the local hospital or something, and sit down and talk to people laying up in the hospital that need family by their side. If you're just bored and you need something to do, there are things you can do to volunteer your time to kind of fill the day. But bingo should not be the only reason why you reelect this horrible individual that's under FBI investigation. My God, y'all act like she pay y'all mortgages and rent. She doesn't. She really doesn't. So if you're still supporting her, either you're getting something out of it, or your brain is not here on earth with us, and you somehow checked into some alternate reality, or maybe she's just paying people to do all of this. I don't know. But you cannot be in your right frame of mind. And look at the crowd size in here. I mean, honestly, if there are people still outside, I think it's well known that it wasn't just her and her goons and supporters. There are other people that were outside as well that didn't make it in, that were voting against her and that are not supporting her. So it just looks crowded and there's just no space. You got people standing up, and honestly, some of them standing up probably shouldn't even be in there because it looks like a fire hazard. But either way, it's not a matter of them not wanting her folks in, because you had other people out there that weren't her supporters that were out there and didn't make it in. It just looked like it was just filled to capacity. That's it. And that's a fair argument. And I'm sure when this video is played in court, most people will conclude the same thing. It's a fire hazard and they didn't want anyone else in here. The end. They filled the capacity. This is somebody who never starts the meeting on time, having people waiting for her. Now she mad. All of this is right. You don't like it. All of this is right and legal. They talking over her. No, this ain't court. Nobody care if you object. This ain't court, girl. They are speaking. Let the people come in. There are enough people in there. It's filled to capacity. It's maxed out. There are enough people in there. And this is a voice vote. So this is how caucus goes. I mean, it might be, a foreign concept to most of us because we're used to what's considered to be a primary. And you go to the ballot and then you do all of that. But caucuses don't always operate the same way. But it doesn't make it illegal. This is very legal. And it's just something that she obviously is not learned and familiar with. And she should have familiarized herself with the two versions of how she could be reelected and understood this process just as well as the, primaries. So, no. But either way, she was still going to lose because she's not going to get the votes she need to be reelected. It's simple math. You don't have the numbers at all. You just don't. I object. This is not court. Bye, Felicia. Get out of here. nigga, get out of here. Get out of here.
She's out. She's a wrap.
Get out.
It's a
Get
wrap.
out.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Get out of here. Security, get out of here.
Woo-cha.
She cannot run.
Oh my good Lord. Good God.
Yo, this is crazy. Yo.
Hey, goodbye.
It's a wrap.
Bye, Felicia.
It's a wrap.
Bye, Felicia. Hey, bye, Felicia. Hey, bye, Felicia.
There's a recap.
Yes, it is. Very planned and very legal.
For Supervisor Napoleon Harris. Yeah. Chris Gonzalez, Mary Vaughn. Thank you guys.
He said, and that's it. You good. The attorney advising him all the way. You good.
Get her out of here. Get her out of here. It's a wrap for her.
So the attorney was like, hey, you just say, you know, based on his hand gestures and and what his mouth movement is, it sounds like you just say, well, you know, you just need to say that or whatever, and then you good, and then you done. You know, just kind of like cut it off. Cause it's as simple as that. I mean, honestly, there's no portion of the caucus laws, I guess, that say that you got to sit there and host a 45-minute meeting. You know, it was not even, this video is 10 minutes. And the first 2 minutes of it, it was chatter and them, you know, letting her rant for a little bit. 30 seconds longer than what I would have allowed. I'm telling you right now, she wouldn't have been able to even come in there with all that. Nope, get out. Take it back out. Get out. We're not doing this. This is not a free fall. Bye. Bye, Felicia. So the attorney advising the Napoleon Harris, is he a state senator? I think it's state senator. Or was something. But he nominated himself, basically. And the attorney is just advising him. Just sometimes it's best to keep it short and sweet. And keep it moving. Keep living. And that's it. Not all that extra fluff. You don't need to go through a book of what happened. Nope. They just did a quick recap. That's it. We're done. Yeah, back there. One supporter. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. What you're insinuating is a coup. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And then no hostile takeover. That was nothing hostile about that. No, ma'am. That's insinuating a coup just happened. The devil is a liar. You better go sit down and read a book. You need to go read them caucus laws. Because that's no, ma'am. That was a very legal process that just occurred. And you're insinuating a coup just happened. I did not witness a coup. I'll come and testify to that. I did not witness a coup. That is not a hostile takeover, political hostile takeover. That was a very legal process that she just didn't like, and no one cares. But there was nothing hostile about that. It was not a takeover. That's not a coup. That was a caucus. It was done legally. The attorney standing right there. And she just got outsmarted. Because she doesn't know anything. So, you know, whatever. Either way, she's going to be outvoted. and sat down. Either way, you got your day coming where you will not be supervising. You're not going to be the Dalton mayor either. She will have to hold that whole city of Dalton hostage. And I told you all months ago, I said in an earlier video in my garage, that you all might want to be careful on what she says and does, because she's not going to go out easy. And I'm not talking about her throwing a fit and threatening to sue somebody, because that's not, it's going to be dead on arrival in court. They're not going to even entertain that nonsense. And she won't even be able to meet her burden on this. You can sit here and make all these allegations if you want. You and your attorney, y'all not going to be able to meet a burden. You don't even have a merited claim. You talking about a lawful process that just occurred that you don't like. You can't call it illegal. Every time something happens they don't like, they call it illegal. Oh, okay. But yet when you get a court order telling you to do something, you don't do it. And then you openly violate it intentionally and disregard it. You know how many times she should have been held in contempt? Child, please. So no, ma'am, that's not how that works. You better keep talking to an attorney, because what you saying right now is dangerous, lady. In that video, you insinuating what sounds like a coup, and no, ma'am, that was not a coup. No, ma'am. This is the ignorance and stupidity of it all. What are you angry about? Tiffany Henyard does not pay your rent or mortgage. What are you angry about?
Take our Thornton Township back. We got to take it back.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if this should have been done a long time ago with this caucus. Is it something that had the way? I wonder could this have been done a while back? Because, oh, Lord. This day right here, she had it coming.
We can't depend on nobody else, and nobody's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves.
Oh, yeah, because the governor sucks.
Next day is Clean House 2025 in Dalton. They're going to get her out of Dalton, too.
The governor of Illinois sucks. He did nothing.
Mary Avant, that's one of the trustees elected. We got 2,000 been watched. And unasked I see.
I think the lady with the pink hair or whatever, pink eyes or whatever, was the one that Gonzalez. This dude right here. Let me tell you something. Like I said, he was one of those trustees that voted her in underhandedly, voted Tiffany Henyard in underhandedly, and robbed the people of their vote when she was voted into this position. They voted her in and then swore her in the same day within like 5-10 minutes. So this is what happens when you're not aware of who you're voting for, that's making these critical decisions like this, that everybody ends up paying the price for. Yeah, he may have suffered a headache or two, but he didn't lose his job or anything. he still gets to make his salary. You know, he looks fit and happy, like he ain't missed a meal or any of that, you know. So aside from the occasional headache he may have endured and suffered, the people that hurt the most were the citizens. And now look what's had to occur. They had to clean their mess up because they created it. Let's just be honest about this. Y'all can come for me in the comment section if you want to, but I have a video of what they did, and I reacted to it and I posted it, because you got to look at how sometimes these things come about and how these problems are created that these same elected officials bring upon us against our will. No one in Thornton Township asked for Tiffany Henyard. And I think if they would have allowed a primary and a vote to go the right way, she would not have won that. It's like they hijacked it for her. And they should never have done that. And it was a boomerang effect and came and bit him in the ass. And now he got him and I think another one I saw that was in that vote 3-4 years ago. They was like, oh man, we effed up. We messed that up bad. Now they got to clean it up. And I think people need to really get in their behind about it. And they need to understand, You will never do this again. Don't vote on our behalf no more. Because this is what happens when you all do sneaky stuff. And then it ends up hurting the citizens of Thornton even more so than the trustees. So I hope that was a lesson learned. But y'all need to chew them out for a little bit about it.
Keep up the fight.
Chew them out a little bit about it. Get on it.
But she's going to challenge
it. Don't do that no more.
They selected the Democratic slate for Thornton Township, and that was the people they down number. She wasn't.
So she lost. That's it. It is what it is. You don't have to like it, but it was very legal. It was very legal. That was a very legal process. They'll be all right. How many people in there?
We got they nominated another a slate and replacing Tiffany.
Yep.
The whole slate.
So basically, that's pretty much how that went down in this video. At the end, there's another portion of the video clip. I'm already almost at 30 minutes of this, I think. But there's a portion where she goes outside, and I think she goes straight to her truck, and then, Thunkhead, what's his name? One of her lagoons talk about how, this was criminal. Oh, okay. You realize saying that in a video is going to be played in court of you calling this criminal with no evidence to prove that a crime occurred. Her people are so ignorant. Her and her goons are so ignorant. They don't care that this is going to come back and bite them in the butt. They don't care about that. You got one insinuating this was a hostile political takeover, like a coup. He's talking about his criminal. And neither one of them would ever be able to prove that sufficiently in a court of law. So, no ma'am. No ma'am. You need to tell your people to shut the hell up, along with yourself. And then, of course, she did, a press conference. And she did a couple interviews. Super Stupid said herself that there were other people outside waiting to come in that did not have a slate. Meaning that they were either going to self-nominate or they could vote for anybody. If they didn't have a slate, meaning that they may have been considering, nominating themselves. And she's trying to say, well, there were other people out there that didn't have a slate. And your caucus rules caused them to miss out as well. Okay, but everybody's not running for a supervisor position either. Everybody outside was not your supporter. And everybody outside was not a Harris supporter. You had a mixture of both. And it is what it is. And it wasn't a disadvantage. It got to a point where it just got crowded. And it's just you can't go over the capacity. Looked like they were a little over it already, but they couldn't risk bringing more people in. And it's not as if she's never had people waiting in a town hall meeting. Had people waiting 30, 45 plus minutes while she go and get her hair done. Had people out in the heat, no water, nowhere to sit. Same complaints that can be played in multiple videos in a court of law and be used against you to show how just astoundingly hypocritical you are. It's just disgusting at this point, Tiffany Henyard. How hypocritical you are. You stuck in some alternate reality where I personally would rather you just go leave Earth and go be wherever your mind at. It's lost the mind. Go find it on another planet. Get the hell out of here. And just leave Earth alone. All of humanity will thank you for leaving Earth. Bye. You will not be missed. Take your goons with you. I mean, you had people in the same predicament, except it wasn't the wintertime. It was summertime. And let's not forget she's on the FBI investigation. She got it coming to her. At some point, she's going to prison. So she might want to think about that. Her future when it comes to this FBI investigation and not necessarily her being a supervisor making six figures. Because I think that's her only issue really is I'm not going to be making over $250,000 anymore. Nope. You have to get another job. I wish to God I have the opportunity to go make $250,000, do anything. I don't care if it's for a year. But yeah, you're gonna have to, like the rest of the civilized society that wants to work, get another job. That's it. The end. Don't obsess over this. Go find something else to do. You got a child. Spend time with your daughter before you get locked up. You gonna go to prison, you might want to take in some time with your child. And value all that freedom you about to be robbed of when they come knocking on your door. The FBI come kicking in your door talking about, we got to take you. You've been indicted. Well, no, I can't wait till that happens. But yeah, you can take your loony behind up out of here, honey, and go on somewhere and sit down. And if you file a petition and try to challenge this in court, you're going to have to prove that this somehow was unlawful. You're going to have to prove it on a legal merit. I hope your attorney know what the hell he doing. And she done already said, it was other people outside. So, that wanted to, that didn't have a slate, that I guess was affected somehow by the caucus, but yet and still you weren't singled out. You can't have your attorney saying you were singled out while you go on press conferences and do interviews talking about how there were other people outside. Some were voting for you, some were not voting for you. Some out there were not supporting you. And they didn't have a slate either. Almost like you saying that they were going to nominate themselves for a supervisor position. Okay, well, that means they weren't going to vote for you. Otherwise, they don't need a slate to go in there and just vote between you and the other guy if it were a primary. But that's not what this was. This was a caucus. So you need to ask your attorney some real questions before you all go to court trying to challenge something. I hope you and your attorney, that sounds like he's just going through the motions of it all. And instead of him telling you the truth, he's feeding your ego. Y'all need to sit down and read the caucus laws, and hopefully your attorney will explain this stuff to you. Because you've already made a fool of yourself in his video, which was epic. You go to court and do that, you're going to piss off a judge. And it is what it is. It'd be different if you had a reasonable challenge to this on a legal merit, but you don't. You just don't. So, all right, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I did. I loved the hell out of this. I've been waiting on this moment. I'm actually waiting on the moment she get indicted. So it's been a while. I've been able to post a whole lot of videos, lately, and it's just been a lot going on. And I'm going to share at some point in a video what's going on with me and do a report on this biased judge that I had to deal with that is under investigation with the JQC. I am going to do a report on it, a video on it, because it needs to be brought to the attention of Fulton County voters of what we're voting for here. I think the corruption and the willingness of the people to really recognize when we have corrupt politicians and judges and mayors and DAs, across the spectrum that are being voted into these positions, and then they abuse it. They abuse their power, they abuse their authority, and they abuse the people. And these rulings coming from these courts with these biased judges, they end up having an effect on our everyday life. And unfortunately, with custody cases, they have an effect even more on children, on the lives of children. So my children have been affected, and it's time to speak out on it. Yep. I've been needing help with an attorney. I mean, I need an appeal to go through. I can't even get a hearing to have, child support corrected based on my income that is reported. Long story short, I'm going to do a video and just kind of get that off my chest and talk about it. Hopefully can get some help, legal help more so than anything. And it's time for some changes. It's time for the corruption on this level to continue to bring it to the forefront. And we are going to do a video on that councilwoman in Boston that was indicted by the feds. We're gonna, I'm gonna start back doing videos and doing some reporting and content on this stuff because it's imperative. There are a lot of people being hurt and affected by this, the corruption, and we can't keep voting on colorism. We got to vote on competency. Vote on people who are smart and intelligent and can do the job. And we're not sitting back wondering what's going on with our tax dollars, or why is biased judges giving out rulings that are hurting families and children, and and then they end up being investigated for it, and then get mad when they get removed from the bench. Well, you brought this on yourself. It is what it is. But it's just time out for that. And we can't continue to support corrupt people. Then how are we any better? All right. So either way, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Stay tuned. Got more content coming out. I got to push out some content, get the channel growing. Let's spread the word. Let's hit likes. Leave your comments below. This was very good. Congratulations, Thornton Township. Dalton is next, and then preferably the FBI will be kicking in her door soon. All right, let it look out. Peace.